an unfinished bridge in Champaign has been sentenced to 6 years in prison.
We told you about this on the morning show. Asia Marshall was charged with DUI last September. That crash was all caught on another driver's dash cam. You can see the moment Marshall drove into the concrete barriers and crashed near I-57. Months later, she got a second DUI. That was dismissed as part of a deal to get to her to plead guilty for the bridge incident. In the sentencing, Marshall's mother took the stand in her defense, saying her daughter is working on bettering her life.
She's currently taking medication. She's doing 100% better than what she was doing. And in 6 years for a DUI, aggravated DUI, with people that were willingly in the car with her doing the same thing that she was doing, that's unfair. That's really unfair.
The judge also recommended that she get mental health treatment during her sentence.
Now, for a news follow-up story this morning, a Beecher City man has been convicted for concealing a homicidal death. Aaron Kaiser will be sentenced in October as well, and he and Christopher Glass were arrested after the body of Kimberly Mattingly was found on property owned by Kaiser's parents. He lived there at the time. Mattingly had been missing for nearly a month, and Glass is set to go to trial for murder next month.
State police are investigating the death of an inmate and the hospitalization of another at Iroquois County Jail. The coroner says 24-year-old Andre Maiden was found unresponsive and later pronounced dead. An autopsy hasn't been scheduled yet, and officials haven't released any details. We did speak with his brother. He says he talked to Maiden on the phone recently and was told he was sick and throwing up. He says they're confused because they don't have any answers as to how he died.
I'm angry because I just talked to my brother, and all he wanted was me to tell my dad to have his lawyer call for an ambulance because they wouldn't give him one, and that's what I did. And by next, I got a call that my brother was dead, all because he couldn't get the medical help he needed.
We have reached out to state police for more information, but they wouldn't release anything else right now. Another inmate was found unresponsive and is in critical condition in the hospital. His name has not yet been given.
A news update this morning to an accidental shooting involving a three-year-old in Springfield. Police confirmed the child got a hold of their guardian's gun and hurt themselves. The child should be all right. The gun was registered, but it was not kept in a proper case or locked up. Police have contacted DCF.
Another drought monitor coming out later this morning. Latest update that we had since last Thursday did show that this abnormally area of dry soil did start to expand a little bit, and it's just west now of McLean County. Plus, we started to see a lot more of that spread over into Indiana, too. And I think we are going to see more of a spreading because all of this information and data is collected on Tuesday evening. So it was definitely dry then. Things just kept getting more hot from that point, and we are still going to be noticing some dry soil. We got some rain on the way, so hopefully we'll be able to eat away at it. And once we do start to see things become a little more dry on the latest update. But your precipitation forecast showing the rainfall mainly will be probably situated farther south into the east. We do expect possibly some higher amounts. Now, 3 inches, that might be hard to come by, but I think the models are a little overestimating some of the rain that we get. But a good inch to 2, I would say, is probably going to be more the norm as we head throughout the next 7 days. And then we'll notice more of the cooler weather to go along with those rain chances, too. Bloomington this morning on your Roofy Dog, Inan, Osley, and Abbott weather camera. Starting to see a few more of those clear skies as many of us farther south actually have a few more clouds around, and that did help to keep things just a bit warm as we headed throughout the overnight, as many of us dropped only down into the mid-70s, and that's where we are this morning. Some raindrops could be around throughout the early part of your day, but generally expecting the better chances to start to develop with the storms later on into this evening, and more to come possibly heading into your day for tomorrow. Chances are still going to be around heading into next work week too. We'll let you know when to expect that rainfall coming up, and a look at your 7-day forecast in about 3 minutes. Christy?
Thanks, Adam. The CDC is now saying people exposed to coronavirus who don't have symptoms don't need to be tested, but some say that directly contradicts the previous federal recommendations. The CDC's new recommendation says if you have been in close contact with a person who has tested positive for at least 15 minutes but don't have any symptoms, you do not necessarily need to be tested. That recommendation has changed, and the Champaign-Urbana Public Health District says this is the wrong message to give people during such a critical time. They're still encouraging you to get tested as much as possible.
New this morning, Champaign County has now surpassed more than 2,000 total cases of COVID-19. That makes it more than 300 new cases since August 18th. There were 86 new cases reported earlier this week. That's a single-day high during the pandemic. 2 people are currently in the hospital and being treated for COVID-19.
Some bars in U of I's campus town have new requirements for students coming in. There's an app that shows whether students have a positive or negative COVID-19 test. We told you about that app. Well, Murphy's Pub is now asking all students to show that they are negative before they go inside. Students say it makes them feel safer. And every day, someone receives a life-saving organ transplant.
And if you didn't already know, August is National Minority Donor Awareness Month. WCIA3's Karina Rubio joins us live at the newsroom to share one special story. Karina.
Hey, Matt, Christy, good morning. The Gift of Hope Donor and Tissue Network connects thousands of donor recipients with those donors. But the group says experts have found that a transplant is far more successful if it comes from someone who shares the same ethnic background as you. In Illinois, 60% of people waiting for life-saving organs are ethnic minorities, but only a third are registered donors. Champaign local Jim McFarland was waiting 9 years ago when he was in stage 4 kidney failure.
We are not donating organs at the same rate we're receiving organs. They got to come from somewhere. And it just seems natural that we would want to help Black Lives Matter in another way. There are people out there who are in desperate need of transplants, and what we can do to help, we should do.
McFarland says his kidney came from a 6-year-old black girl who had passed away unexpectedly, and that's why this month is important. Reporting live in the newsroom, Karina Rubio, WCIA3, your local news leader.
It used to be a field of corn.
Still to come in the 6 o'clock hour of the morning show, why sunflowers are drawing a lot more attention.
But before that, let's get a check of our 7-day real quick with Adam.
Not quite as hot today with more of the clouds and a small rain chances today and tomorrow, but we do see that cool down starting up this weekend. We'll talk more about Laura coming up during the 6 a.m. hour.